Welcome class 11th. In my previous lecture, I started with a new chapter, chemical bonding, wherein I discussed that what is the meaning of a chemical bond, what is chemical bonding, and why this chemical bonding takes place. Today we will discuss how chemical bonding takes place. But before we move forward, let me take this opportunity to explain the concepts that I already taught you. Just a brief revision. Molecules are the ultimate particle of matter that can exist independently and do not undergo chemical reactions. And in a molecule, at least two or more than two similar or different atoms are present that are held together by means of a force of attraction, which is called as chemical bond. So we simply define chemical bond as a force of attraction that holds two or more atoms together in a molecule, and chemical bonding is the process by which similar or dissimilar atoms they combines with each other to make a molecule. And this chemical bonding takes place in order to attain a stable configuration of 2 electrons or 8 electrons in their outermost shell, or in order to attain a state of minimum energy and maximum stability. Now, today we will take how chemical bonding takes place. So, how chemical bonding takes place. Now, an atom is made up of a positively charged nucleus wherein protons and neutrons are present, and electrons are arranged outside this nucleus in different shells. Now, when atoms undergo the process of chemical combination, electrons that are present in the outermost shell, they are redistributed. There is an rearrangement of electrons in this outermost shell. And this outermost shell of an atom is also called as valence shell, because electrons that are present in this shell, they are involved in valency or in the combination of atoms to form molecules. So basically, chemical combination or chemical bonding is a process in which electrons that are present in valence shell of an atom, they are redistributed. And this redistribution of electrons takes place in such a way that all the combining atoms, they attains a stable configuration of either 2 electrons or 8 electrons in their outermost shell. And that is how these atoms they come together and they combine with each other to form molecules. Now, this redistribution or rearrangement of electrons can take place by two ways. One, by transfer of electrons, and number two, by sharing of electrons. Transfer of electrons means Out of two atoms that are combined with each other, one atom loses its electrons and other atom accepts those electrons. And during this process, both of these atoms they attains a stable configuration of 8 electrons. They both of them they attains a stable octet, and afterwards they combines with each other. That is how this transfer of electrons takes place, and this is called electrovalent bonding. Then there is another way that both combining atoms they mutually share some electrons, and this sharing of electrons results in the completion of octets of combining atoms, and they are held together, and this mode of bonding is called as covalent bonding. A very simple example that I have 10 rupees, you have 10 rupees, and you wishes to eat an ice cream which costs 20 rupees. So I had given my 10 rupees to you. That is how you have got 20 rupees with you, and you have purchased ice cream and eaten it. I am happy that I had given 10 rupees to you, and you are happy that you accepted it. And that is how we become friends. This is electrovalent bonding. One atom has donated electrons, another atom has accepted these electrons. After donation, first electron attains a stable configuration, so he is happy. Second atom after accepting electron completes its octet, so he is also happy. Since both are happy, so they become friends, they join with each other, and this type of electrovalent bond is formed. There is another way that I give 10 rupees, you give 10 rupees, so both of us have 20 rupees. Then we had purchased an ice cream and taken it together. One atom is short of one electron in the outermost shell, another atom is short of one electron in the outermost shell. So both of them shared one electron from each, and that shared electron pair is mutually the property of both atoms. This shared electron pair is possessed by both combining atoms, atom A also and atom B also. And that is how, by possessing this shared electron pair by both combining atoms, both of them had completed their octets. Both of them had attained a stable state, so they become friends, they remain together, they form a molecule, and this mode of bonding is called as covalent bonding. So once we discuss that how chemical bonding takes place, then we must understand the meaning of chemical bonding in bit different way. Any atom is made up of two things. One, its nucleus that contains electrons and protons. Then all the electrons they are distributed among these in different shells that we learned in the previous chapter, atomic structure. And whenever there is a chemical combination, only electrons that are present in the outermost shell or valence shell, they are redistributed or rearranged. And as a result of this rearrangement, these atoms they combines with each other and molecules are formed, compounds are formed. then this redistribution of electron may takes place by two different ways. One, by transfer of electrons that results in the formation of an electrovalent bond, and this process is called electrovalent bonding. And second, by sharing of electrons that results in the formation of a covalent bond, and that process is referred as covalent bonding. In this entire chapter, we will discuss these things. How this electrovalent bonding takes place, what are the properties of electrovalent compounds. In the very beginning, I had told you that chemistry is a branch of science that deals with the structure and properties of matter. And why? Because by understanding this relationship between structure and properties, we can develop matter with desired properties to suit our different needs. So by understanding the mode of bonding and its impact on the properties of matter, we become closer to that goal of understanding structure and activity relationship. So I am quite sure that with this discussion you was able to understand that what is the meaning of a chemical bond, what is the meaning of chemical bonding, why chemical bonding takes place, and how chemical bonding takes place in general. Now I will take up these electrovalent bonding and covalent bonding in detail. So first we will take up this electrovalent bonding. Before I proceed further, let me explain that in many of the books, a third type of bonding is also written, which is called coordinate bonding. Coordinate bonding is also a special type of covalent bond that in which shared electron pair is given by one atom only. In a covalent bond, electron pair is shared between two atoms. Out of these two electrons, this electron pair, one electron is given by one atom and another electron is given by another atom. But in coordinate bond, this shared electron pair is given by only one atom. So if we extend that example of ice cream, in which I told that in electrovalent bond, I had 10 rupees, you have 10 rupees. I had given my 10 rupees to you and you have purchased it, ice cream. My 10 rupees are completely owned by you. Electrons are transferred and transferred electron is completely owned by one atom who accepts it. Then in another example, in covalent bond, I had 10 rupees, you have 10 rupees. Both of had mixed these 10 rupees and both of us have 20 rupees now. Then we had purchased our ice cream and taken it equally, mutually. Shared electron pair is contributed equally by combining atoms. One electron is given by A atom, another electron is given by atom B, and this shared electron pair is the property of both atoms. This shared electron is possessed by both atoms. But there is a third case, that I have 20 rupees and you don't have anyone, and I contributed my 20 rupees to purchase ice cream, but in the last we are mutually using this. Shared electron pair is given by atom A only, but after the formation of bond, this shared electron pair which is given by atom A is equally possessed by atom A as well as atom B. So this is called as coordinate bond. So coordinate bond is actually a special type of covalent bond in which shared electron pair is given by only one atom. We will discuss this later in detail. So first we proceed to electrovalent bonding. This electrovalent bonding always takes place between two different atoms. Electrovalent bonding is not possible between similar atoms. So, always takes place between different atoms. Out of one, generally a metal, and other is a non-metal. This donates electron, this accepts electron. After donation of electron, it converts to a cation with complete octet, and after accepting an electron, this non-metal atom converts to an anion with complete octet. And later on, these cations and these anions, they are joined together with the help of strong electrostatic or Coulombic force of attraction. So an electrovalent bond is always formed between two different atoms, out of which one has got electron donating tendency, means it is metal. The other has got an electron accepting tendency, that is it is a non-metal. So metal first donates its electrons, it loses its electron so that it converts to a cation with a complete octet, and non-metal accepts these electrons which is lost by metal to form an anion with a complete octet. And once these cations and anions are formed, they are held together with a very strong electrostatic force of attraction. And since constituent particles in these type of compounds are ions, this positively charged ion and this negatively charged ion, thereby this bonding is also called as ionic bonding. Generally, the atom which donates electrons has either one electron or two electrons in their outermost shell. That means it is either from the group 1 element alkali metal or from group 2 element alkaline earth metals. While these non-metals which generally accepts the electron, they either have 6 electrons in their valence shell or they have 7 electrons in their outermost shell. That means they either belong to group 7, oxygen, sulfur, either they belong to group 6 like group 16 like oxygen and sulfur, or they belong to group 17 like fluorine and chlorine. And this transfer of electron results in the completion of octets, and once these cations and anions they are held together by each other, again energies are released and they attains a state of minimum energy and maximum stability. So in a nutshell, we can say that during the process of ionic bonding or during the process of formation of an electrovalent bond, a metal loses its electron to form a cation with stable octet. Non-metal accepts an electron to form an anion with stable octet, and later on these cations and anions they are held together with an electrostatic force of attraction. Now let us take few examples to illustrate it more properly. Let us take the example of formation of sodium chloride. So sodium has got atomic number of 11 and its electronic configuration is 281, while chlorine has got atomic number of 17 with an electronic configuration of 287. So first we identify valence shell or outermost shell of sodium has got this one electron, and this shell which is before to that of valence shell is completely filled, and outermost shell of chlorine has got 7 electrons. Now as I told you that during the formation of an ionic bond, metal loses its electron to form a cation. So this loses this one electron, and as a result this forms sodium plus ion, which has got an electronic configuration of 28. So octet is complete here, and the same electron which is lost by this sodium atom is accepted by chlorine atom. So this forms the mononegative Cl minus or chloride ion, and this will have 288. So here again octet is complete, and once this sodium is converted to sodium plus ion, this Cl is converted to Cl minus ion. These Na plus and Cl minus ions they are held together with the help of electrostatic forces of attraction, and sodium chloride crystal is formed. So that is how an electrovalent bond is formed. This can be represented in a different way also, that this is sodium atom having 2 electrons in first shell, having 8 electrons in second shell, and finally having 1 electron in its outermost shell. So when it is lost 1 electron, this outermost shell is removed, and you will have a sodium plus ion that will have 2 electrons in first shell, and the outermost shell will have 8 electrons. Now this chlorine atom has 2 electrons in first shell, then has got 8 electrons in the second cell and 7 electrons in its outermost shell. And once it accepts 1 electron, here I had written minus electron, here I had written plus electron. So once it accepts this electron which is lost by the sodium atom, it forms Cl minus ion, in which outermost shell have 8 electrons, out of which 7 electrons are its own and 1 electron it accepts from the sodium atom. So that is how sodium atom converts to sodium cation Na plus with a complete octet, and this chlorine atom converts to chloride ion with a complete octet. And afterwards, these positively and negatively charged ions, they are held together in a definite geometrical pattern with the help of electrostatic or Coulombic forces of attraction. So as I told you in the beginning also, that chemical bond is a type of force of attraction that holds these constituent particles together in a compound, that holds combining atoms together in a molecule. And this entire process by which this individual element sodium or this individual element chlorine, they combine with each other to form a compound sodium chloride, is called as chemical bonding. And this chemical bonding results in the attainment of stable electronic configurations, stable octets in the outermost shell, or it results in the attainment of a state of minimum energy or maximum stability for these combining elements. So the driving force for the formation of a chemical bond is the attainment of statement of minimum energy or maximum stability. So I am quite sure that with this discussion you are able to understand that how an electrovalent bond is formed. In next discussion, I will show you the formation of some more electrovalent compounds and we will discuss the properties of ionic compounds. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and must send your feedback that how much you was able to understand out of this lecture. Thank you.